All right, Mega City. This right here, this is the Greyhound. You're probably asking yourself, "Wait, what the hell you doing down by the Greyhound?" Well, this is one of those stories that's longer than a red light, buddy. So I'm gonna give us the green light while I go to Atlantic Station to explain why I'm down here by the freaking Greyhound place. That's my intro music, because I don't like doing any editing. So that's for you. That was for free, YouTube. That was free. Okay, so let me tell why did he do that to him? He looked like Morgan Freeman. So let me tell you, 18, wide-eyed, just like the world is my playground and I shall play. So, we'll take this story all the way back to high school days. So I'm 18. I go on a cruise with my mother every year. Every year. The year before we went to Mexico. When Cozumel, Mexico, it was extremely fun. I didn't do nothing on the cruise because it was my first cruise. I didn't know what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, there was a point where you're supposed to go, and you're supposed to go with a whole bunch of teens. Like, y'all all supposed to come together and meet up in this group. And I was like, I don't know none of these people. What I look like going to a group meeting? This seemed like some AA stuff. I ain't got a problem drinking, right? Got no problem getting to know folks. I get to know people all the time. So I basically stayed in the room until like the last night. Because the last night I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm going to get out the room. Because the whole time I was hanging with my mom and her friend, right? So the final day of the cruise, I decided, I put on the tank top. I said, I'm not coming back to this room until I've met at least 10 people. So I went out and but that's not even the story I want to tell. But anyway, so after that cruise, I kind of was like, alright, I know how to do these cruises. You gotta get on and automatically get it popping, right? So my next cruise, I'm 17, I'm turning 18, and the teen limit is 17, right? So I was like, well, I know I can't go with the teens, but I met the teenager person over it, and she was pretty cool. She was like, forget that, I ain't worried about that. Come hang out. You know what I mean? You could just come chill. We got video games and all that. Guitar Hero. And at that time, I was huge into, I was like, hey, Guitar Hero? Man, you had me at guitar. So I went ahead and I went. First night, had a great time. Second night, had a great time. I didn't really see anybody. It was this one girl. She was from Atlanta. It was two girls from Atlanta. But both their breath was like the baddest breath that you could ever smell in the history of life. So I was like, well, I know I'm not going to talk to them. And plus, I didn't want to get at nobody from my city. Okay, we're going to the Bahamas. If I wanted an Atlanta woman, I would have got me an Atlanta woman. I was single, you know, freshly single too. Like, I had just dumped my girlfriend before getting on there because we was in an open relationship and she still cheated. But anyway, so I'm hanging out with the teens tonight. This particular night is karaoke night, right? It's freaking karaoke night, right? We singing. I'm doing backflips. I didn't even know I really could do a backflip and a front flip. It was crazy. I was like, boy, I must be turned. Okay, everybody already knew I was turned on the ship because like they had a club on the actual ship. So real talk, if you're taking a cruise, take your ass on Carnival because Carnival got the best cruises. Okay, anyway, so I go to the club and I have a good time and everybody is like, man, that man can dance. He can dance, he can dance, he can dance. And at the time, people like Chris Brown was the biggest, best dancer ever. So that's who they was comparing me to, right? So I'm that guy. They be like, yeah, that's Chris Brown. So I'm walking around the ship, feeling pretty cool. I never went to my room. I always drunk juice by the Lido deck. Wake up, then go to my room, take a shower, put on some clothes, then go back, get some breakfast, all that. You know what I mean? So this one particular night, I'm singing karaoke, and these two beautiful women walk in. I'm like, dang, who are y'all? They sat in the back. They ain't say nothing to nobody. They kind of like talked to each other. And I kept looking. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing. I'm singing da-da-da-da. Girl, he doesn't love me now. You know what I mean? And I had a homeboy named Marcus I had became friends with. So me and Marcus were real cool, man. Real cool. Me and him both was like on the move for the ladies. Like we was just like, we trying to pick up on some girls. You know what I mean? So we see these two. I'm like, dang. Like both of them just like fine. I'm sitting there. I'm like, golly. But it was like the skinny one that was like looking magical, right? What's up, man? Pablo Escobar? Yeah. So she was looking magical, right? So your boy did something I never freaking do. I jumped up. I walked over to come talk to him, and as soon as I was about to go talk to him, the counselor was like, y'all gotta go if y'all not 18. And of course the girls just like, okay, goodbye. I mean, we were just coming to chill out. Like, we both 19. I was just like, oh man, 19. I'm about to be 18. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm about to bust a move. So once she threw him out, I grabbed Marcus. I said, bro, come on. I went after them. I said, hey, how y'all doing? I'm TiVo. You know what I mean? I'm the guy on the ship. And she was like, what does that mean? I was like, I be turned up. But, maybe we can hang out. Get to know each other a little better. Have a good time, Since we're on the ship together and stuff. We got like 4 more days before. No, I was like 2 more days before we get to the Bahamas. So we might as well enjoy our little trip, right? So she like, okay, alright, I'm down for that. So that night, me, her, and her cousin, because that was her cousin, I was home, because I thought they were just friends, but they actually was cousins, they were related. I introduced my boy Marcus. They seem like they like Marcus too, so I'm like, alright, cool, whoop-de-whoop, everything good, everybody like everybody, right? So we hadn't yet established who was talking to who, because her cousin was thick. She was thick too. She was like a little thin thick. Like, yeah, she had like a little apple bottom booty. I was like, okay, alright, cool. Boom. Next day we go hang out. I'm telling Marcus, I'm like, bro, which one do you like? He like, what's up? Damn. I'm like, which one do you like? He said, I like both of them. So I'm like, oh, okay. Look at pillows. Whatcha? I like both of them. I was like, well, alright, we'll figure this out. We'll let them pick. Shoot, why are we picking? Hell, we probably picked wrong. And next thing I know, I go to this like hangout with her cousin, right? And her cousin talk, boom. Her cousin like, yeah, I like kids, blah blah, stuff like that. I had a little friendly conversation, but I wasn't really vibing it. I wasn't feeling it. I was like, dang, dog, she don't like me. And then the other one, I don't know about the other one. So I go back. I'm like, Mark, so he's like, man, none. So I think they had already made up in their mind what it was, right? So I go talk to the skinny one. She like, what's up, blah blah blah. We get to talking. She's like, you so funny. You funny. I was like, what the hell does funny mean? She's like, you just funny. And then she put her arm on my thigh, and I was like, oh Lord Jesus, I know what that means. So me and her started vibing, whatever. By the end of the cruise, I kind of was like, I'm good, because I know how long distance things work, and I'm super good on that, bro. You feel me? I'm good. Your boy is not going flat, right? So, of course, I try to walk away, leave her. After we done had like some magical times. We had some conversations that was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like the best conversations in the world, but they were pretty cool. Pretty cool peoples. Next thing I know, I'm trying to walk away from her. I'm like, alright, it was good knowing, you know what I'm saying? We had a fun time. She grabs my arm and she says, what are you doing? Give me your number, we're gonna talk. I'm like, no, we're not. She's like, no, we're gonna talk. Like, I promise you I'm gonna call and I'm gonna text and all that. And then I can't even come to Atlanta sometimes. So I'm like, huh? Scorpion? What? You wanna come to Atlanta? Okay. So So to cut a long story short, she was serious about that. And she started coming during holidays and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's cool, you know. We started developing some type of relationship. Over a course of 3 years, we started getting a lot closer, okay? So around the 3rd year, I kind of was like, I ain't never had no girlfriend this long, you know. I think I should propose. Right? Now mind you, this relationship was pretty rocky though. It was off on, off on, off on, off on. Half the time I didn't even know when it was on. Half the time I didn't even know it was off. Okay, this one particular time I was just like, you know what? It's either put up or shut up. And it was so sad, is I had met somebody in my state, and I thought she was cool. And because I was on again, off again, I couldn't even really dedicate myself like I wanted to, man. It was real tragic. So I finally was like, alright, forget it. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go propose to this girl, and we're gonna go from there. So I got on the Greyhound. I went on the bus. 11 hours down there. Now mind you, at some point somebody had stole the engagement ring that I purchased for $600. Like $600 engagement ring. I was poor. But the only thing I could do was save my money. And that's exactly what I did. I saved my money. So, saved my money, bought this $600 engagement ring, got on the bus, and somebody stole that shit. The only thing they left behind was this wedding band I had got. So, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to tell her that somebody stole the ring. So, it was 11 hours, but it ended up being 12 because I had to stop the bus and had them check that bus for an hour looking for it. Along the way, somebody had went through my bag and stole it. So when I got there, I'm expecting like a hug, a kiss, or something. Man, this girl was like, grab your bag, come on, let's go. But the trip to Florida was the worst trip that I could ever take in human possibly form. It didn't go how I planned it in my mind, okay? It just went left. Okay, but I was determined to stay around and change how everything was flowing, okay? So, I went ahead and she took me to her brother's house. I couldn't stay with her, and I couldn't stay in a hotel because I didn't really have enough money for that. So, I stayed with her brother. Her brother was cool about it. Her brother was really cool guy. He let me stay at the house and everything. So, the first day I'm there, you know, even though she, like, kind of muscled me into the car, like, come on, no hugs, no kissing, no nothing. I still was like, alright. So when I got around her nephew and her, I went ahead and proposed. I asked her to be my wife. She said yes. Over a course of those 3 days, from her saying yes, by the time it was time for me to go, Ferrari. By the time it was time for me to go, she came to me one day, the last day before it was time for me to go, and she says, I gotta find myself. I was like, my dumb self, I'm thinking, you gotta find yourself. Well, I can help you find yourself. Where'd you lose yourself? So, I'm feeling pretty stupid, you know what I mean? She told me about the whole engagement thing, and she didn't feel like it was right, and all this stuff. So I got back on the bus, defeated. I was confused and defeated. And I didn't know what the next thing was, what the next step was. Like, was I broken up, or like, did I just get rejected? And those feelings had stepped in, man. Now, since then, the girl went out, found out she had another dude. She ended up getting pregnant by the dude. Ended up getting married to the dude. And all the while I'm over here like, dang, dude, 3 years. 3 years down the drain. What the hell? Then at 23, I bought a bike, crashed the bike, called her, and was trying to, you know what I'm saying, tell her about it and stuff like that. And she was like, I'll call you back. And never freaking called me back. To this day, but that whole relationship shaped and molded who I am today, man. And I just want to tell that crazy long story just to say, man, respect yourself when you know you deserve better, man. Don't sit there and think because we've been together for such a long time, that automatically means go ahead and propose, bro. Nah, man. Find your better half and enjoy life. It's your boy, Mr20west. This was the longest red light, stoplight story ever. Get at your boy. Oh, and I think this is the part where I say, and I'm out.